Have you ever found yourself struggling to accept a heartfelt compliment, feeling uncomfortable as someone praises your qualities or achievements? You're not alone. Many of us face this challenge. Today, we delve into the Stoic perspective on self-acceptance and understanding our worth, focusing on the art of receiving compliments graciously. One, accepting less than you deserve. Imagine a life where you embrace your worth and live in harmony with your true self. We're exploring how you might be undervaluing yourself without even realizing it. Let's start with one key area where this often happens: accepting less than you deserve. It's a scenario we've all experienced: enduring a draining job, staying in an unfulfilling relationship, or ignoring our dreams out of fear. We settle, telling ourselves, "This is as good as it gets." But why do we do that? Is it fear or comfort, or perhaps a bit of both? Stoicism provides a valuable perspective on this matter, reminding us that our true worth isn't tied to our external circumstances. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Whether in a palace or a prison, Stoicism teaches us that our response to situations, not the situations themselves, defines us. When we settle for less, we essentially give more power to our circumstances than to ourselves. Stoicism challenges this notion, urging us to align our situations with our values and respond in ways that reflect our true worth. If the answer is no, Stoicism empowers us to change our perception, choose our response, and transform our reality. Epictetus emphasized this when he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Accepting less than you deserve implies that external factors control your life. Stoicism reminds us that our worth is defined not by our job title, relationship status, or bank account balance, but by our integrity, courage, and wisdom. This isn't about self-blame. It's about recognizing our inherent worth and seizing control. Seneca advised, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." In modern life, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by societal pressures, but embracing Stoicism encourages us to act with courage and wisdom, no matter the circumstances. By acknowledging our worth, we can respond to life's challenges with strength and resilience, truly thriving in a Stoic fashion. Let's not settle for less. By aligning with our values and embracing our worth, we can navigate life's ebbs and flows with serenity and resilience, as the Stoics intended. Remember, your worth isn't defined by external markers, but by your inner values and how you respond to life's challenges. In embracing this mindset, you can live a fulfilling and meaningful life. 1-2. Minimizing your achievements. Stoicism, with its profound insight into human nature, encourages us not to boast or inflate our egos, but rather to recognize our efforts and virtues honestly and fairly. Why? Because acknowledging our achievements isn't about pride. It's about honoring the work, discipline, and perseverance it took to reach them. It's about recognizing our commitment to our goals and our adherence to our values. Within Stoicism, virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance are essential. When you achieve something, regardless of its size, it's often because you exercise these virtues. Perhaps you summoned the courage to apply for a job, used wisdom to navigate challenges, or practiced discipline, a form of temperance, to organize your life. Diminishing your achievements by attributing them to luck or dismissing them as things anyone could do undervalues not just the outcome, but also the virtues you exercise to reach them. Changing this mindset requires balance and honesty. It's about saying, "Yes, I worked hard for this. Yes, I faced challenges and overcame them. And yes, this achievement reflects my effort and my virtues." It's about giving yourself credit, not to inflate your ego, but to acknowledge the truth. Now consider a recent achievement, no matter its size. Reflect on the virtues you exercised to accomplish it. Perhaps you displayed discipline, courage, or wisdom. Take a moment to acknowledge it and the virtues behind it. This exercise isn't about self-congratulation. It's about recognizing your character and effort. This Stoic practice can reshape how we view our successes and ourselves, steering us away from false modesty toward genuine appreciation of our strengths and capabilities. A common scenario in modern life is staying late at work to help a colleague, skipping your morning run to make breakfast for your family, or putting your dreams on hold to support someone else's. This often feels noble and selfless. However, constantly putting others first at the expense of your well-being can lead to burnout, resentment, and a loss of self. It's like trying to fill cups from an empty pitcher. Eventually, you run out. How do you balance helping others with acknowledging your achievements? How can you honor your own accomplishments while also being a supportive friend or family member? Recognizing your achievements is not about ego. It's about appreciating the virtues you've embodied and the hard work you've put in. The key lesson is to find a balance where you can celebrate your achievements while also being a supportive part of your community. 3. Prioritizing others' needs over your own. Have you ever found yourself putting others' needs above your own, to the point where your own well-being suffers? This is a common issue, and even among those who practice Stoicism, the problem can go unnoticed. Stoicism isn't about being cold or selfish, rather, it's about virtue and contributing to society. Yet this philosophy also underscores the importance of self-care. Why is this crucial? Because taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's essential to effectively support others. The Stoics remind us that to be of service, we first need to be in a good place ourselves, physically, mentally, and spiritually. When you think about the dichotomy of control that Stoicism teaches, it becomes clear what we can control and what we can't. We control our thoughts, beliefs, actions, and self-care, but not the well-being of others. What we can control, however, is how prepared we are to help and support those around us. And that preparation starts with self-care. Imagine when you're well-rested, healthy, and peaceful. How much more patient and understanding can you be for your loved ones? How much more can you contribute to their well-being? It's not just about physical health. It's about building mental and emotional resilience. It's about cultivating the inner resources needed to be compassionate, offer wise counsel, and provide stability and strength to others. To achieve this balance, we need to recognize that self-care isn't a luxury or an afterthought. It's a necessity. This means creating time for activities that refresh us, whether that's exercise, meditation, reading, or simply enjoying quiet moments alone. It means setting boundaries and being comfortable with saying no when necessary. These acts of self-care aren't about self-indulgence, but rather a commitment to being our best selves for the people we care about. As the ancient philosopher Seneca once said, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." This wisdom encourages us to focus on quality over quantity, especially when it comes to our well-being. How often do you find yourself neglecting your own needs in the process of helping others? This is a crucial question to ponder, especially if you want to cultivate a healthy balance in your life. Think about one way you can prioritize your own well-being this week. It could be committing to a daily walk, setting aside time for a hobby, or establishing boundaries around work hours. Whatever you choose, remember that this act of self-care isn't just for you. It's about ensuring that when you show up for others, you're showing up as the best version of yourself. How might this small change improve not only your life, but also the lives of those around you? By engaging in regular self-care, you lay a strong foundation for being of service to others. This aligns with the Stoic principle that emphasizes the betterment of society, starting with the individual. As you consider ways to improve your own well-being, how might you also inspire those around you to do the same? By leading through example, you can help create a culture where self-care is valued and prioritized, benefiting not just yourself, but everyone you interact with. If you resonate with these signs, you're on the path to self-discovery and growth. Comment "I value myself" to affirm your commitment to embracing your worth. Stay tuned, because your journey to empowerment is just beginning. 4. Struggling to accept compliments. In Stoicism, a core principle is viewing oneself objectively, acknowledging both strengths and areas for improvement. This balanced perspective isn't about ego, but rather it's about recognizing our intrinsic value. Many of us struggle with accepting compliments because we're often our own harshest critics. We focus on our flaws or feel that accepting praise makes us arrogant. But, as the Stoics teach, true humility isn't about denying our strengths, it's about acknowledging them honestly, free from ego or insecurity. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." By recognizing our worth, we reflect a truthful view of ourselves. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes that acknowledging our achievements doesn't diminish our worth. In fact, gracefully accepting compliments is an exercise in self-awareness and objectivity. It allows us to see our virtues and efforts more clearly, providing insight into our true selves. When someone compliments us, they're often acknowledging something genuine and worthy in us. Dismissing these moments robs us of a valuable opportunity to see ourselves through another's eyes and understand our impact on the world around us. Improving our ability to accept compliments begins with shifting our mindset. When someone praises us, we should view it as a reflection of our virtues and efforts. Instead of deflecting or minimizing, we can simply say, "Thank you." This straightforward response shows gratitude for the recognition of our efforts and qualities. Stoicism also encourages us to use these moments for reflection, asking ourselves questions like, "What did I do to earn this praise?" helps us understand our capacity for excellence and impact. As Seneca noted, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." By appreciating the compliments we receive, we acknowledge the abundance already within us. Facing decisions can sometimes be daunting, especially when self-doubt clouds our judgment. This hesitation, this fear of making the wrong choice, stems from a lack of self-trust. It's like standing on the edge of a diving board, knowing we need to jump, but hesitating. The Stoic approach reminds us that accepting compliments and trusting our judgment are two sides of the same coin. Both require acknowledging our worth and understanding that our strengths are as important as our weaknesses. By relating these teachings to modern life, we can see how accepting compliments gracefully improves our relationships and self-image. In a world often focused on self-promotion, practicing genuine humility, as the Stoics advocated, allows us to connect more authentically with others. Embracing our strengths and efforts, while remaining grounded, enables us to face challenges with resilience and navigate life's ebbs and flows with a serene mind and resilient spirit. 5. Avoiding decision-making. Do you ever find yourself avoiding making decisions, feeling stuck in a fog of indecision? You're not alone. In fact, this is a common issue many people face, but Stoicism offers a guiding light to help us find clarity. According to this ancient philosophy, wise decision-making isn't about guaranteeing perfect outcomes. Instead, it's about making choices grounded in wisdom and reason. As Stoics, we understand that while we can't control the results of our decisions, we do have control over the decision-making process itself. It's crucial to align our choices with our values, act with integrity, and accept the outcomes, knowing they are part of life's natural flow. So why do we fear making decisions? Often it's because we're afraid of making the wrong choice, leading to what we perceive as failures or mistakes. However, Stoicism encourages us to rethink our views on mistakes and failures. In the Stoic mindset, every outcome is a chance to learn and grow. There are no failures, only lessons. This perspective empowers us to trust ourselves, make decisions with courage and confidence, and appreciate that whatever happens, it will help us develop and understand ourselves better. Have you ever considered that you can reframe your fears of making decisions into opportunities for personal growth? Building self-trust is essential for confident decision-making. But how do we develop this trust in ourselves and strengthen our decision-making muscles? It starts with embracing wisdom and reason. Before making a decision, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, does this choice align with my values? Am I acting with integrity? Grounding your decisions in your core values and reason ensures that, regardless of the outcome, your choice was made with the best intentions and understanding available to you at the time. This practice can be likened to a person trying to choose a new career path. Instead of worrying about the possible outcomes, they focus on aligning their decision with their passions and strengths, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling life. Reflecting on the outcomes of our decisions, whether they align with our hopes or not, is a key lesson in Stoicism. Every result holds valuable insights, inviting us to understand what worked, what didn't, and how we can apply these lessons moving forward. This reflective process builds self-trust and reassures us that we can navigate life's uncertainties, make decisions aligned with our values, and grow from every experience. How might this perspective help you face a current decision or challenge in your life? Ultimately, Stoicism teaches us that the process of decision-making is a journey of self-discovery and growth. By focusing on aligning our choices with our values and embracing the lessons from each outcome, we can move forward with courage and confidence. It's not about avoiding decisions, but about facing them with wisdom and an open heart, knowing that every choice we make is an opportunity to grow and align more closely with our true selves. 6. Excessive self-criticism. The ancient philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This sentiment beautifully captures the essence of our topic. Imagine you're navigating the turbulent seas of life, and instead of focusing on the winds and tides, you're preoccupied with your ship's smallest flaws. This is what happens when we obsess over our faults and failures, missing out on the bigger picture. Stoicism encourages us to focus on progress rather than perfection. Perfection, after all, is merely a mirage, a goal we can never truly attain. However, we can always strive to become better versions of ourselves, one deliberate step at a time. Why do we often fall into this trap of excessive self-criticism? It's because we frequently set impossible standards for ourselves, standards that we wouldn't dream of imposing on others. We forget that being human means making mistakes, having flaws, and possessing an incredible capacity for growth. How often do you find yourself holding on to unrealistic expectations? What happens when we measure ourselves against these lofty ideals? Stoicism offers a refreshing antidote to this tyranny of self-doubt: self-compassion and a focus on progress. Self-compassion, from a Stoic perspective, doesn't mean making excuses for our shortcomings. Instead, it's about treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we would offer a close friend. It's about recognizing that setbacks aren't indicative of our character, but are simply part of the human experience. When we stumble, the Stoic response isn't to criticize ourselves, but to ask, what can I learn from this experience? How can I grow from it? Changing our mindset requires us to see our journey differently. Every effort, even those that fall short of our expectations, is a step forward. Our mantra becomes progress, not perfection. This mindset doesn't mean we become complacent or indifferent to improvement. Instead, it means we pursue growth with renewed fervor, understanding that it often involves challenges and is beautifully imperfect. How can we shift our focus towards progress and self-compassion in our daily lives? How might you, personally, embrace these Stoic ideals to foster a healthier relationship with yourself? These questions invite reflection and interaction, helping you to better understand and apply these principles. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its timeless wisdom, urging us to navigate life's ebbs and flows with a resilient spirit. By embracing progress over perfection, we align ourselves with this ancient philosophy's core tenets, creating a pathway toward personal growth and fulfillment. How will you begin to apply this wisdom today? If you've made it this far, you're already embracing your true worth. Drop a comment saying, "I value myself," to show you're committed to your Stoic journey. Stay tuned, the best is yet to come. 7. Constant comparison with others. Feeling like you're undervaluing yourself can be a challenging realization, especially for men aged 30 to 65. In this segment, we'll explore how falling into the comparison trap might be hindering your progress, and how Stoicism offers practical tools to help you refocus on your unique journey. The great Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts," which reminds us of the importance of focusing inward rather than outward. We often fall into the comparison trap because it's human nature to gauge our worth and achievements against others. In today's world of social media, this tendency is amplified. We see snapshots of people's lives that highlight their successes and rarely showcase their struggles, leading us to question our own worth and experiences. Stoicism teaches us to develop self-awareness and gratitude for our journey. Instead of comparing ourselves to others, we can admire their virtues and successes while recognizing our value. To combat this, practicing mindfulness is key. Notice when you're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Social media often portrays a curated version of life that doesn't reflect reality. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, noted, "True happiness is nanjing tuning sankoi takimre," the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Focusing on what's within your control, like your efforts, attitudes, and virtues, is crucial. These are the seeds from which your unique journey grows, and nurturing them can lead to a fulfilling life. Gratitude is also vital. Appreciating your experiences, challenges, and achievements grounds you in the present and helps you appreciate your own life. This doesn't mean you become complacent. Instead, it encourages improvement from a place of contentment rather than inadequacy. As Epictetus wisely said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Relating these ideas to modern life, focusing on personal growth and gratitude can help you navigate the challenges of contemporary society. By understanding that everyone's journey is unique and that your path holds its own significance, you can cultivate a sense of fulfillment and purpose. Embrace the Stoic approach of focusing on what you can control, and you'll find yourself on a path to a more content and meaningful life. 8. Lack of personal investment. It's all too easy to put off that course you've been eyeing, neglect that hobby you've wanted to start, or even overlook your self-care routine. Perhaps, like many others, you often dismiss these pursuits, thinking you lack the time or resources. But often, the real issue isn't these external factors. It's about undervaluing ourselves. It's like whispering to yourself, "I'm not worth the effort." Stoicism, with its deep insights into human nature and ethics, challenges this mindset. It encourages us to view self-improvement as a form of self-respect. The Stoic philosopher Seneca likened life to a garden that requires constant tending to flourish. Similarly, our inner world needs attention and care. When we neglect our personal growth, it's akin to abandoning a garden, which will soon wither without investment. Why do we sometimes hesitate to invest in ourselves? We might get caught up in immediate gratification, chasing fleeting pleasures rather than focusing on long-term fulfillment. Or we might struggle with low self-esteem, feeling unworthy of effort. However, Stoicism offers a counter-narrative, emphasizing that every individual has inherent worth and potential for virtue. By investing in our growth, through learning new skills, exploring hobbies, or practicing self-care, We acknowledge and honor this worth. How can we start investing in ourselves in line with Stoic philosophy? It begins with shifting our mindset. We need to view self-improvement as essential and non-negotiable. This doesn't require an overnight transformation, but rather consistent small investments. Maybe it's as simple as reading a book on a fascinating topic, dedicating a few minutes daily to meditation, or pursuing a hobby that brings joy. A friend of mine recently found himself trapped in a job that drained him. He was reluctant to invest time in his passion for painting because he felt it was a frivolous pursuit. However, through Stoic reflection, he realized that painting brought him a sense of fulfillment and aligned with his values of creativity and mindfulness. By carving out time for his passion, he found renewed energy and purpose in his daily life. Have you ever felt the same way about something you enjoy but neglect? Stoicism also teaches the importance of reflection and self-examination. This practice helps us understand our strengths and areas for growth, guiding our personal investment efforts. By regularly assessing our lives, setting goals, and reflecting on our progress, we cultivate a sense of purpose and direction. This process isn't just about achieving external success, but aligning our actions with our values and virtues. Ultimately, investing in ourselves is about acknowledging our worth and potential for virtue. How can you start nurturing your inner garden today? By aligning your actions with your values, you create a life of purpose and meaning, embracing self-improvement as a path to true fulfillment. 9. Seeking external validation. Imagine for a moment a life where you are free from the exhausting need for external validation, where you can confidently stride through your days, knowing that your worth is intrinsic and not tied to the opinions of others. This is what the Stoics, ancient philosophers who have left a legacy of profound wisdom, invite us to embrace. Their teachings, which are strikingly relevant today, focus on lifelong learning and self-sufficiency, reminding us that true peace comes from within, not from external approval. In the realm of personal growth, adopting a mindset of curiosity and openness is akin to embarking on a grand adventure. The Stoics viewed wisdom not as a destination but as a journey, inviting us to see personal investment as an exciting opportunity to explore the vast landscapes of knowledge and experience that life offers. Rather than perceiving self-improvement as a chore, we can see it as an enriching adventure, much like how Socrates said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." This mindset shifts our focus inward, helping us align with our values and principles. The Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, believed that our actions, intentions, and responses are the only things within our control. Aurelius famously stated, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." It's not others' opinions that disturb us, but our judgments about those opinions. In a world where insecurity and fear of inadequacy often drive us to seek external validation, the Stoics remind us that peace and fulfillment come from living true to ourselves, not from the fleeting approval of others. So why do we seek validation from others? It often stems from a fear of not being enough, especially in a society that bombards us with messages about who we should be or what we should have. How often do we pause and ask ourselves if our goals align with our values, or if we're merely chasing applause? Stoicism encourages us to look inward and reflect on our intentions. Through regular self-reflection, we can align our actions with our principles and values, following the advice of Epictetus, who said, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." Developing self-sufficiency is another key Stoic practice. This doesn't mean isolating ourselves, but rather finding contentment and fulfillment within, understanding that we are complete as we are. By focusing on what is within our control and letting go of what isn't, as Epictetus advised, we can cultivate inner contentment and reduce our reliance on external validation. This shift encourages us to become more self-aware and mindful, allowing us to build a life rooted in our own values rather than the approval of others. As you reflect on these ideas, consider how they resonate with your own experiences. What steps can you take to align your actions with your values? How can you cultivate self-sufficiency and focus on what is within your control? The Stoic journey is one of continuous learning and self-reflection, offering a path toward inner peace and fulfillment that transcends the fleeting opinions of others. How might your life change if you fully embraced these principles and redirected your gaze inward, focusing on building a character rooted in virtue and wisdom? The Stoics invite you to embark on this transformative journey, promising a life of genuine contentment and resilience. If you've come this far, you're on the path to valuing yourself more. Drop a comment saying, "I deserve more," to show your commitment to self-worth. Stay tuned, because the journey to true self-appreciation is just beginning. 10. Tolerance of negative environments. Have you ever found yourself stuck in a toxic environment, unsure of how to escape? The Stoic philosophy offers insights into why this happens and how to overcome it. In this segment, we'll delve into one of the critical issues that often leads to undervaluing oneself without realizing it: tolerating negative environments. Stoicism teaches us to redefine success by aligning it with our values rather than external accolades. It's about pursuing virtue, practicing reason, and building resilience against life's challenges. Imagine being lost in a dense forest, where every step is a struggle. This metaphor perfectly encapsulates what it's like to endure a toxic workplace or unfulfilling relationships. The Stoics believe that our surroundings play a significant role in our well-being, but they also emphasized that we have the power to choose our associations wisely. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This encourages us to reflect on why we tolerate negative environments and what can be done about it. We often remain in harmful situations because we fear change or doubt our self-worth. Stoicism challenges these fears, urging us to recognize our inherent value and agency. It invites us to see that we have the power to change our circumstances or, at the very least, our perception of them. By doing so, we can reclaim control over our lives and avoid undervaluing ourselves. Building inner resilience and autonomy is key to transforming our environments. Marcus Aurelius spoke of strengthening our inner citadel, a metaphor for cultivating a strong inner core. This helps us stay true to our values amidst chaos. The Stoics didn't advocate for indifference or detachment, but rather for remaining steadfast in our principles. This allows us to withstand toxicity and align our choices with our well-being. Seneca put it aptly: "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Living according to nature is another guiding Stoic principle. This involves creating environments conducive to our growth and happiness, and recognizing that we deserve respect and positive interactions." T might mean setting boundaries, seeking new career opportunities, or changing social circles. Investing in practices like meditation, journaling, or hobbies can foster a personal environment that supports our well-being. Fear often holds us back because we're focused on what we might lose. However, Stoicism encourages us to consider what we stand to gain. By focusing on potential growth and fulfillment, we can overcome our fears and realize our dreams. Epictetus reminded us that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This perspective empowers us to take control of our environments and our lives. In modern life, it's easy to become overwhelmed by negative environments. By applying Stoic principles, we can better navigate these challenges and create a more fulfilling life. Remember, the key lies in valuing ourselves enough to seek out or create positive surroundings, and in strengthening our inner resilience to weather any storm. 11. Fear of pursuing dreams. It's easy to get caught up in life and neglect your dreams, often out of fear. However, Stoicism teaches us that pursuing our innate potential and striving for excellence is a worthwhile endeavor, regardless of the outcome. Stoic practices, like the premeditation of evils, or what's now known as negative visualization, can help us overcome this fear. Imagine preparing yourself for the worst-case scenarios, not to dwell on them, but to reduce their hold over you. When you accept that you can endure potential hardships, you'll find that your fears aren't as formidable as you thought. This doesn't mean you become reckless, but rather that you approach your dreams with a balanced view, understanding that failure is not the end but a step in your personal growth. Another principle that can motivate you to chase your dreams is amor fati, or the love of fate. This involves embracing whatever life brings with enthusiasm, not just resignation. When you pursue your dreams guided by this concept, you embrace all experiences, successes, failures, joys, and disappointments as part of life. This acceptance frees you from fear and gives you the courage to move forward. The Stoic idea of acting according to your virtues and potential reminds you that your worth isn't measured by external achievements but by your dedication to living virtuously, striving for your goals with integrity and courage. In this context, the fear of pursuing your dreams isn't just a barrier to success. It's a barrier to living a life that's authentically yours. Why do we often forget this fundamental Stoic lesson? Part of the reason lies in our desire for connection and validation, which can lead us to seek worth in others' opinions or achievements. However, true worth comes from living in harmony with your nature and virtues. Epictetus stated that freedom is not secured by fulfilling our heart's desire, but by removing our desire. True freedom and contentment come not from external validation, but from recognizing your intrinsic value. Imagine a modern scenario where you've always wanted to start a business, but fear holds you back. By applying Stoic principles, you confront your fears, accept potential challenges, and embrace the journey with all its highs and lows. What's stopping you from pursuing your dreams? How can you redefine success to align with your virtues rather than societal expectations? Remember, the key lesson is that fear should not prevent you from living a fulfilling life. Instead, focus on pursuing your goals with integrity and courage, finding contentment in the journey rather than the destination. 12. Failure to recognize your own worth. Are you struggling to recognize your own worth? Let me share with you how the wisdom of Stoicism can help you shift your perspective. Stoicism, a philosophy that's as relevant today as it was in ancient times, encourages us to move away from seeking validation through external achievements and instead focus on cultivating our character. The essence of our worth, according to Stoicism, lies not in the titles we hold, the wealth we accumulate, or the applause we receive, but in our dedication to living virtuously, with integrity, kindness, and courage. While achievements and recognition are not without value, they are not the ultimate measure of our worth. Our intrinsic value is as constant as the stars in the sky, and recognizing this truth can liberate us from the endless chase for external validation. How do we develop this Stoic understanding of our inherent worth? The journey begins with self-reflection. We need to turn our gaze inward, acknowledging and appreciating our virtues, efforts, and resilience. It involves practicing gratitude for our abilities, character, and potential, recognizing that these internal qualities are the true markers of our worth. This perspective shift also requires us to detach our sense of value from the ever-changing opinions of others and the fleeting nature of achievements. This detachment isn't about being indifferent. It's about gaining clarity on what truly matters in the grand scheme of our lives. Reflecting on this, how often do you let the opinions of others dictate your sense of self-worth? Many of us feel undervalued due to various reasons, such as past traumas, societal conditioning, or personal failures. We often compare our journeys with those of others, seeing only their highlight reels, while being painfully aware of our own behind-the-scenes struggles. This comparison, driven by the false belief that happiness is a scarce resource available only to the deserving, undermines our self-worth. However, Stoicism teaches us to dismantle these misconceptions and understand that happiness isn't a reward, but a way of life. How often do you fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others, and how does this impact your sense of worth? The Stoic perspective invites us to focus on our values, align our actions with those values, and find joy in the pursuit of virtue and reason. Marcus Aurelius, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This profound statement underscores the importance of focusing on our internal lives rather than external circumstances. In our daily lives, we often become caught up in the pursuit of achievements and recognition, believing that these external markers will validate our worth. Yet the Stoics remind us that our worth is inherent and immutable, regardless of our circumstances. By focusing on cultivating our character and living in alignment with our values, we can free ourselves from the relentless pursuit of external validation and find true fulfillment. How can you apply this Stoic wisdom in your own life to recognize and embrace your intrinsic worth? Recognizing your own worth is a journey, not a destination. It's a process that requires ongoing reflection and a willingness to align your actions with your values. By embracing the wisdom of Stoicism and shifting your focus from external achievements to the cultivation of your character, you can discover a deeper sense of fulfillment and self-worth. What steps can you take today to start recognizing and embracing your own worth? 13. Feeling unworthy of happiness. Feeling unworthy of happiness can be a common struggle, especially for men aged 30 to 65. But Stoicism offers a guiding light through its profound teachings. The philosophy encourages us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and reactions, and to release what we cannot. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This perspective empowers us to actively shape our happiness through our daily choices and attitudes. To embrace this Stoic approach to happiness, we must first change our narrative about worthiness. Happiness should not be seen as conditional upon achievements, external validation, or perfection. Instead, we should recognize that happiness is inherent in living virtuously, making the best choices available to us, and appreciating the present moment. This is crucial because, as Epictetus stated, happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle: some things are within our control and some things are not. Gratitude plays a significant role in Stoicism, helping us shift our focus from what we lack to what we have, and from perceived inadequacies to the abundance present in our lives. This shift is vital in feeling deserving of happiness, as it allows us to recognize the beauty, opportunity, and potential in our daily lives. Seneca wisely noted, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of community and support. Happiness is not a solitary journey, and by fostering meaningful relationships, we affirm our worthiness through the collective wisdom and love of those around us. By supporting and being supported, we find strength in our shared human experience. As Marcus Aurelius observed, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." In today's fast-paced world, these Stoic lessons are more relevant than ever. Our lives are canvases upon which we can paint with the vibrant colors of virtue, resilience, and happiness. We are the architects of our own destiny and the sculptors of our own happiness. While the path may be strewn with challenges, it is also lined with potential for growth, joy, and fulfillment. Remember, you are deserving of happiness, capable of achieving your dreams, and worthy of every bit of love and success that comes your way. As you navigate the ebbs and flows of life, Carry with you the wisdom of Stoicism and the belief that happiness is within your reach. How do you know when you might be undervaluing yourself, and what have you done to address it? If you're not sure what to comment, feel free to share with us your experience where you might have underestimated your worth or felt undervalued. 14. Neglecting your own boundaries. Imagine this. You've been feeling overwhelmed lately, constantly catering to others and neglecting your own needs. If this sounds familiar, you might be neglecting your own boundaries, which is a subtle yet significant sign of undervaluing yourself. In the world of Stoicism, setting and respecting boundaries is crucial for inner tranquility. However, when you allow others to overstep these boundaries, it signals a disregard for your own worth and jeopardizes your well-being. Boundaries are like protective barriers for your time, energy, and mental health. By permitting them to be violated, you're not only impacting your serenity, but also showing yourself that you don't deserve the same respect you afford others. Often, people who undervalue themselves struggle with guilt when setting boundaries. This feeling might stem from a desire to please others or avoid conflict. However, continually sacrificing your needs for others can lead to burnout and resentment, disturbing the balance cherished by Stoic philosophy. Epictetus reminds us that we should focus on what we can control, and our boundaries fall within that realm. Setting firm boundaries is not only an act of self-respect, but also a recognition of your inherent value. Take Alex, for example, a dedicated professional who found it difficult to say no to additional work requests, often sacrificing his weekends to meet deadlines. He felt he was being a team player, but this constant acquiescence led to stress and frustration. After realizing he was undervaluing his needs, Alex decided to set clear boundaries with his colleagues, reserving weekends for personal time. This not only improved his well-being, but also allowed him to perform better during the week. Reflect on your own life. Are there situations where you feel overwhelmed or taken advantage of? What steps can you take to set clear boundaries? Defining your personal limits and communicating them assertively to others is essential. This might involve saying no more often or distancing yourself from situations that compromise your well-being. By embracing this practice, you align with the Stoic principle of self-discipline, fostering a stronger sense of self-worth and inner peace. Ultimately, understanding the value of boundaries is key to maintaining inner peace. Recognizing when you're neglecting your own boundaries is the first step toward a healthier, more balanced life. By setting and respecting these boundaries, you not only show respect for yourself, but also cultivate a sense of self-worth and inner tranquility, which are at the heart of Stoic philosophy. 15. Underestimating your abilities. Now we'll discuss how underestimating your abilities might be a sign that you're undervaluing yourself, as seen through the lens of Stoicism. Let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself doubting your skills or shying away from challenges because of self-doubt? If so, you're not alone. The great Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius understood the importance of recognizing our inner strengths and potential. When we consistently underestimate what we can do, we're not only holding ourselves back, but we're also dismissing the unique talents that make us who we are. Sometimes this mindset stems from a fear of failure or a lack of self-belief. But what if we considered these fears not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth? If you've ever wondered how to align your actions with your true potential, think about the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. What does this quote mean to you, and how could it change the way you view your abilities? When we doubt ourselves, we're often missing out on valuable opportunities. Recognizing this, how can you start to value your strengths? Start by reflecting on your past successes. Remember those moments when you achieved something significant, no matter how small it might seem. These are reminders of what you're capable of, and they can serve as stepping stones to greater things. Would you agree that acknowledging your strengths could help you build confidence over time? Stoicism teaches us to align ourselves with the pursuit of excellence, which means embracing challenges with courage. Think about a time when you faced a difficult situation and emerged stronger. What did you learn about yourself in that moment? How did it help you recognize your worth? By setting small, achievable goals, you can build your confidence gradually. Imagine what your life could look like if you started embracing challenges instead of avoiding them. How would that change your perspective on your abilities? This is a key principle of Stoicism, the idea that we can choose how we respond to life's events. How might you apply this philosophy to your daily life? In conclusion, undervaluing yourself often means underestimating your abilities, but remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When you start valuing yourself and acknowledging your strengths, you open up a world of possibilities. How will you start recognizing your true worth today? 16. Overcommitting yourself. Are you juggling a never-ending to-do list and feeling overwhelmed by your commitments? You might be undervaluing yourself without realizing it. Let's explore how overcommitting yourself can be a clear sign that you're not valuing your worth and what you can do about it. In the wise words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Overcommitting oneself is a common pitfall, often arising when we struggle to say no to others. In doing so, we can easily disregard our own needs and well-being. Stoicism encourages us to prioritize our time and energy, focusing on what truly matters. If you're constantly overextending yourself with too many responsibilities or commitments, it's a sign that you might be neglecting your own priorities. These are reminders of what you're capable of, and they can serve as stepping stones to greater things. Would you agree that acknowledging your strengths could help you build confidence over time? Stoicism teaches us to align ourselves with the pursuit of excellence, which means embracing challenges with courage. Think about a time when you faced a difficult situation and emerged stronger. What did you learn about yourself in that moment? How did it help you recognize your worth? By setting small, achievable goals, you can build your confidence gradually. Imagine what your life could look like if you started embracing challenges instead of avoiding them. How would that change your perspective on your abilities? This is a key principle of Stoicism, the idea that we can choose how we respond to life's events. How might you apply this philosophy to your daily life? In conclusion, undervaluing yourself often means underestimating your abilities, but remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When you start valuing yourself and acknowledging your strengths, you open up a world of possibilities. How will you start recognizing your true worth today? 6 things to help you increase your self-worth and successfully. Number 1. Intense focus. In the ever-accelerating pace of modern life, maintaining a profound sense of self-worth is both a challenge and a necessity, especially for men navigating the prime years of their lives. From the illustrious wisdom of Stoic philosophy, Seneca once remarked, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." This powerful sentiment encapsulates the essence of cultivating self-worth, not through the accumulation of external successes, but through the mastery of one's inner world. Let us consider the paramount importance of intense focus. As an old adage wisely points out, even the most capable person can achieve nothing if distracted by too many things. Conversely, the weakest can achieve something as long as he concentrates his efforts on a single goal. Take the example of acclaimed novelist Haruki Murakami, who attributes his success to a rigorous routine. Rising at 4 a.m., Murakami dedicates the first hours of his day to writing, undisturbed, meeting no one, and focusing solely on the task at hand. This disciplined approach has not only enhanced his creativity, but has also cemented his status as a literary titan. Indeed, as he engages in this singular pursuit, Murakami exemplifies how focus, love, and care for one's craft can lead to remarkable achievements. Enhancing one's focus is not merely a matter of will, but of method. To begin with, setting clear goals and minimizing the allure of multitasking can significantly boost one's ability to concentrate. Developing a habitual focus in every activity enriches your engagement and sharpens your skills. Furthermore, reducing distractions such as frequent checks on the mobile phone or consumption of irrelevant information can help maintain this focus. Lastly, meticulous planning and a clear delineation of time for each task ensure that efforts are not only consistent, but also effective. By embracing these practices, you not only pave the way for professional success, but also deepen your self-worth. As you refine your focus and dedication, your skills naturally enhance, setting you apart from the rest. In doing so, you embody another Stoic principle from Marcus Aurelius. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By centering your thoughts on your goals and minimizing distractions, your actions and outcomes begin to align more closely with your true potential. This journey of focusing deeply is not just about achieving external markers of success, but about fostering a resilient spirit that thrives on clarity and purpose. As you integrate these methods into your daily life, observe how they not only transform your professional endeavors, but also enrich your personal relationships and sense of self. Remember, the true measure of wealth in life is not quantified by what we accumulate, but by what we truly value and focus our energies on. Embrace this philosophy and watch as every aspect of your life aligns more profoundly with your most authentic self. Number 2, don't procrastinate, take action. Have you ever caught yourself dreaming big but acting little? Let's consider a common scenario. It's the start of the year, and you're brimming with resolutions. You buy a stack of books to expand your knowledge, and perhaps you even sign up for a gym membership determined to get in shape. Fast forward a few months, and those books gather dust. The gym membership goes unused. This is a classic trap of ambition without action, a surefire way to remain stuck. Take a moment and think about your own experiences. How often have you planned something in your mind only to let it slip through your fingers? A writer once shared a conversation that perfectly illustrates this point. A reader messaged him, eager for advice on writing a novel. "How can I write a great novel and become a writer?" the reader asked. The writer's response was simple yet profound. "What have you written so far?" The reader admitted, "Nothing yet. I'm still preparing. I've been reading a lot about writing." The writer then likened writing to swimming, explaining that no amount of reading about swimming will teach you how to swim. You must dive in and start paddling. Similarly, to write a great novel, one must start by writing. The essence of achieving success lies not in your intelligence or the meticulousness of your plans, but in your ability to take the first step and initiate action. Consider this. Life does not reward the plans we make, but the actions we take. Let's shake off the shackles of hesitation and procrastination. Here are 3 practical steps to empower your journey. 1. Act today, not tomorrow. Break the habit of procrastination by completing tasks as soon as they arise. 2. Begin promptly. When a decision is made, take immediate action to set it in motion. 3. Celebrate your achievements. Each small success should be a cause for encouragement, fueling your enthusiasm to continue. Imagine a young entrepreneur, Alex, who dreams of starting an eco-friendly clothing line. Like many of us, Alex is filled with ideas but initially struggles with taking action. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, Alex starts small, designing a few pieces and sharing them online. The feedback is positive, spurring Alex to expand the line gradually. Each step forward is modest, but collectively, these steps forge a path toward a thriving business. So why do we hold back? Often it's fear of failure or the comfort of planning without risk, but remember, every moment of inaction is a step away from your potential. Every day you delay, you lose an opportunity to progress toward your goals. What will you start today? What's the first step you can take to turn your dreams into reality? Let's make this a year of action, not just intention. After all, it's the steps we take, not just the plans we make, that define our journey and lead us to our destinations. Number 3, reflect on yourself. Reflecting on oneself is more than a practice. It's a transformative journey that can profoundly impact your personal and professional life. Imagine starting each day not just with a plan, but with a purposeful reflection on the previous day's experiences. What could this simple yet profound habit mean for you? As the philosopher Socrates famously said, "An unexamined life is not worth living." This wisdom holds that the act of self-reflection is key to unlocking our full potential. But how often do we pause to truly reflect on our experiences and learn from them? By dedicating just a few minutes each day to this practice, you begin to see patterns, identify your strengths and weaknesses, and most importantly, learn how to progress. Consider this. Training and self-assessment are not just activities, but essential tools for growth. Every moment of reflection is an opportunity to better understand yourself and refine your approach to challenges and opportunities alike. Think of it as sharpening your mental and emotional toolkit. As you reflect, ask yourself, what were the reasons behind my failures and successes? This isn't just about accountability, but about crafting a more deliberate path forward by accumulating experience and wisdom. The formula, reflection plus pain equals progress, might sound daunting, but there is truth to its message. The pain of acknowledging our shortcomings can be a powerful catalyst for change, driving us to avoid past mistakes and foster personal and professional development. But reflection isn't only about identifying what went wrong. It's equally important to recognize what you did right and understand why it worked. Now let's think about how this applies directly to you. How can you turn your daily reflections into actionable knowledge? How might this ongoing process of self-assessment and reflection help you not just meet, but exceed your own expectations? As you embark on this journey of self-discovery, remember that each session of reflection is a step toward a stronger, more capable you. You're not just reviewing your day, you're actively transforming those experiences into stepping stones for future success. This method is simple, yes, but its effects are profound. By continuously reflecting, you not only develop a deeper understanding of yourself, but also set the stage for meaningful improvements in all areas of your life. In conclusion, I encourage you to embrace the power of reflection. Make it a daily ritual. See it as a means to enhance your self-worth and succeed in ways you might never have thought possible. What will you discover about yourself today? What changes can you make that will lead you to the life you aspire to live? Let's start this reflective journey together and see where it takes us, shall we? Number 4. Enhance your thinking. Don't follow the crowd. In a world inundated with fleeting trends and momentary spikes in collective behavior, it is crucial to cultivate a fortress of self-worth grounded in independent thinking. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect, advised Mark Twain. This timeless wisdom underscores the peril of succumbing to the masses' whims, where the allure of quick wins from viral videos to stock market booms often obscures the harsh realities of unexamined pursuits. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once remarked, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This insight invites us to scrutinize our responses to the world's cacophony, urging a more contemplative stance over a reactive one. To bolster your mental agility and nurture a self-reliant spirit, consider adopting the following strategies. Firstly, cultivate an insatiable curiosity. Allow your mind to wander beneath the surface of commonplace events and decode the mechanisms that orchestrate the visible outcomes. This quest for understanding will not only satiate your intellectual appetite, but will also sharpen your capacity to navigate life's complexities. Secondly, embrace skepticism. In an era rife with misinformation, the ability to question and critically assess the veracity of the information that bombards us daily becomes indispensable. By challenging the status quo and testing the waters of popular opinion, you forge a path that is uniquely yours, rather than one laid down by the consensus. Lastly, engage in introspective inquiry. Delve into a habit of questioning your own beliefs and motivations. This self-dialogue should not be cursory, but a profound excavation of your reasoning processes. By understanding your own cognitive landscapes, you empower yourself to make decisions that are aligned with your deepest values and aspirations. The quality of your thoughts profoundly impacts the quality of your life. Freeing your mind from the shackles of conventional wisdom and nurturing a habit of deep, reflective thinking are fundamental to not merely surviving, but thriving in the modern world. As you embark on this journey of mental fortification, remember the words of another great thinker, Socrates. The unexamined life is not worth living. By fostering a robust internal dialogue and maintaining a curious and critical mindset, you are not just enhancing your self-worth, but are also setting the stage for a life of success and fulfillment. Number 5, never stop learning. As the Chinese journalist and entrepreneur Luo Zhenyu insightfully put it, lifelong learning is the only way to fight off death at 30. If you coast along without engaging in new learning, you risk becoming obsolete. But how can you stay relevant and vibrant in your field and beyond? Consider Lu Qi, the former president of Baidu, who dedicates 5 hours weekly to study top scientific and technological research. During one team meeting, he inspired his staff by saying, "You must persist in learning every day and live a different life each day." He likens personal development to software updates. Today's version of yourself should be an improvement over yesterday's, and tomorrow should surpass today's. This continuous absorption of knowledge has not only enhanced his skills, but has also paved his way to professional success. To embed continuous learning into your lifestyle, you could start with these 3 practical steps. First, maintain an open mind. Be eager to embrace new ideas and knowledge to capture emerging opportunities. Second, dare to step out of your comfort zone. Challenge yourself, stretch your limits, and delve deeper into your personal and professional life. Third, diversify your learning channels. Beyond books, engage in online courses and tap into various media sources to widen your perspective and deepen your knowledge base. Here's a story from modern life that illustrates these principles in action. Emily, a mid-level marketing manager, felt stuck in her career. She decided to break her routine by learning digital marketing through online courses and participating in industry webinars. Within a year, not only did she revitalize her career, but she also led her team to achieve a record-breaking campaign reach. Emily's story is a testament to the power of pushing boundaries and continually updating one's skills. Now think about your own life. When was the last time you learned something new, and how did it impact your day-to-day activities? By making learning a lifelong habit, you open doors to endless possibilities and ensure personal growth that keeps pace with the world. In the new year and beyond, commit to upgrading yourself. It's not just about climbing the career ladder. It's about becoming a better version of yourself every day and facing life's various challenges with newfound confidence and capability. So, let this be a lesson to us all. Embrace learning as a lifelong journey, not a destination. By doing so, you can navigate through life's complexities with agility, and resilience, ensuring you always stay ahead of the curve. Number 6. Self-healing. Have you ever found yourself feeling stuck in the aftermath of failure or hardship? It's a common part of our human experience, yet how we emerge from these trials can significantly impact our sense of self-worth and overall success. Let's explore the profound process of self-healing, a vital skill that empowers you to overcome life's hurdles and embrace a brighter future. Self-healing begins with a pivotal change in perspective. Cease complaining. Complaining can often feel cathartic, but it chains us to our troubles. Facing life's difficulties without casting blame requires courage and marks the beginning of true self-healing. By accepting responsibility for our reactions, we step into a role of personal empowerment. Next, cultivate a resilient and optimistic outlook. This doesn't mean ignoring the gravity of your situations, but rather seeing them as temporary and improvable. History is replete with stories of individuals who, despite dire circumstances, remained hopeful and thus found pathways to remarkable recoveries. Abraham Lincoln once remarked, "I am a firm believer in the people. If given the truth, they can be depended upon to meet any national crisis. The great point is to bring them the real facts." Apply this wisdom to your own life. By maintaining positivity, you invite the gradual unfolding of improvement and healing. Finally, the third cornerstone of self-healing is self-reliance. Relying on your inner strength is crucial. When you learn to mend your emotional and psychological wounds independently, you not only heal, but also grow stronger in your solitude. Think of the caterpillar's metamorphosis. Isolation in the cocoon is necessary for it to emerge as a butterfly. So too must you rely on your inner reserves to transform challenges into triumphs. Now imagine your life once you've mastered these steps. When you heal the wounds in your heart and successfully navigate through current difficulties, what new opportunities might unfold for you? How will your increased self-worth enable you to chase dreams that once seemed unreachable? By embracing the principles of self-healing, you're not just recovering, you're reinventing your approach to life's challenges. You learn that each obstacle is not just a barrier, but a chance to grow stronger and wiser. As you continue on this journey, ask yourself, what are the wounds I need to heal today? And how can I approach them with a new perspective of strength and optimism? Remember, in the art of healing lies the promise of new beginnings. Let's embark on this transformative journey together, nurturing our resilience and rekindling our spirits in the pursuit of a fulfilling life. As we wrap up, I invite you to reflect on what we've discussed today and consider how these insights can enhance your daily life. If you found this video insightful, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, recognizing your worth and embracing happiness are crucial steps toward personal growth. If this resonated with you, please like and share this video to help spread the wisdom of Stoicism. Let's encourage more people to discover their true value and pursue their happiness with strength and conviction. Thank you for being a part of Stoic in your life today. Until next time, live boldly, love deeply, and seek the joy that is rightfully yours.